My name is Saitoti. I was a Moran once, a warrior in training. I lived in a village near the edge of the Loiter Plains, where the wind never rests and the trees whisper old secrets. This happened many years ago. But even now, I still wake up shaking, hearing her voice. Her name was Nashipae. She was not supposed to be mine. She came from the other side of the hills. Her father had debts, and her family had a bad name. The elders warned us about her people. They said her mother was cursed, that her grandmother was a spirit walker. But I didn't care. Nashipae was soft-spoken, with eyes like wet soil after rain. She wore a blue kanga around her waist and always had small white beads in her hair. She walked like she was hiding from something. But she smiled when she saw me. We met at the old fig tree behind the cattle kraal. No one ever went there after sunset. It was said to be a place where shadows gathered. That's why it was safe for us. At first, it was just talk. Then one night, I gave her my warrior band. Red and black beads, the one my mother made before she died. She tied it to her wrist. I knew what that meant. It was a promise. But I was engaged to Namelok, a chief's daughter. Strong. Proud. The kind of girl the village respected. She wore a red shuka every day, and her earrings were made from lion's teeth. She didn't like Nashipae. Said she smelled like bad luck. The day everything broke, we ran. I told Nashipae to meet me at the dried riverbed before dawn. We would head west, past the thorn fences, past the hills, and find a new place, just the two of us. We thought we were smart. We didn't know we were being followed. That morning was strange. The air was too still. Even the cows didn't moo. We walked for hours. No one spoke. Just the sound of our feet on dry dirt. By midday, we reached the foot of the black rock, a tall stone that pointed like a finger toward the sky. Locals said it marked the border between the living and the dead. I should have listened. We rested there. Ate some dried meat and drank from the gourd Nashipae carried. She looked tired but peaceful. She said it felt like we were finally free. Then we heard it. A sound. Not loud, but wrong. Like something dragging across the ground. We turned. Namelok. She was standing at the top of the rock. Her face was blank. No anger. No sadness. Just stillness. But her eyes, they looked strange. Like they were glowing from inside. She raised her hand. And pointed at Nashipae. Then she whispered one word, Olodokaloni. The name of a forbidden place. A dead village swallowed by drought and screams. We didn't wait. We ran. We should have never looked back. But Nashipae did. Just once. She gasped. And something changed. Her grip loosened. Her legs slowed. I screamed at her to keep going. She just said, "She's calling me." I grabbed her wrist and pulled, but she dug her heels into the dust. Then the earth beneath her cracked, just a little. Enough for her foot to slip. She fell. Hit her head. I carried her to a nearby cave. The sun was setting. My arms were shaking. Inside, it was cold and silent. The walls were covered in old markings, chalk drawings of women with no eyes and men with bleeding mouths. I laid her down. Her lips were pale. Her beads had fallen off. I tried to speak to her, but she just kept whispering, "She's in the smoke, she's in the smoke." Then I saw it. Outside the cave. A figure in red. Shuka flapping like it was caught in a storm. Namelok. But she wasn't walking. She was floating. Her feet didn't touch the ground. She opened her mouth, and I heard a sound I'll never forget. It wasn't a scream. It was like every cry, every wail, every broken promise, all at once. Nashipae sat up. Her eyes were all black. She looked at me and said, "She's here for both of us." I don't remember running. I don't remember how I made it back. The next morning, the warriors found me passed out near the cattle pens. I told them everything. The chief said I was cursed. They said Nashipae's blood had brought a spirit. That Namelok was not herself anymore, that she had been taken. They burned my warrior band. Poured goat blood on the fig tree. Called the Libon to cleanse me. But none of it worked. because at night, I still see her. Both of them. Standing at the edge of the cattle fence. One in blue. One in red. Watching me. Waiting. Weeks passed after that day. People tried to move on, but the village changed. Children stopped playing near the kraal. Women whispered when they fetched water. Even the cows started acting strange, refusing to go near the fig tree. The elders said it was just fear. But fear doesn't twist goat horns or make firewood scream when it burns. I was no longer a Moran. After the lab ceremony, they stripped me of my beads. I wasn't allowed to carry a spear. I became nothing. A man without a path. At night, I started dreaming of her. Nashipae. Not the way she was when we ran, but the way she looked in the cave. Pale lips. Hollow eyes. Hair floating like she was underwater. In the dream, she would whisper, "You left me." But I didn't. I swear to you, I didn't. She made me let go. One evening, I heard drums from the east. Another village had sent warriors to speak with ours. They came wearing bright red shukas, ash on their cheeks, and feathers in their headbands. They didn't sit. They stood the whole time and only spoke to the elders. When they left, I asked my uncle what they said. He wouldn't tell me at first. But after I begged, he said one word. Olodokulani. The dead village. Someone or something had been seen near the ruins. A girl with beads in her hair and a warrior's band on her wrist. The warriors tried to follow her. But she vanished near the old well. They heard something inside it. Sobbing. That night, I left the village. I couldn't sleep. I needed to see it for myself. I needed to know if it was really her. I took nothing but my father's rangu and a gourd of water. No spear. No shuka. Just a thin brown wrap and sandals made from cowhide. The walk to Olodokulani took me a day and a half. The grass that doesn't grow. The trees look like they've been burned from the inside. No birds. No ants. Even the wind avoids that place. The houses were all collapsed. Just dry sticks and ash. But the well was still standing. I walked toward it. Each step felt like it took a year. When I reached it, I looked down. At first, I saw nothing. Just darkness. Then I heard it. A voice. Soft. Wet. Familiar. Saitoti. I froze. Saitoti, I waited. Why didn't you come sooner? My mouth was dry. My feet wouldn't move. Then I saw a hand rise from the well. Thin. Cracked. Wearing my warrior band. I ran. But the air got thick, like I was walking through honey. And then, she stepped out. Nashipae. Only, it wasn't really her. Her eyes were black holes. Her neck twisted like it was broken. Her dress was soaked in something dark, and her skin looked like it was peeled. But she smiled. And behind her, another figure. Namelok. She didn't float this time. She crawled. Her nails were long. Her teeth were missing. But her eyes still burned. They didn't chase me. They just watched. Like they were waiting. Like they knew I would return again. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just walked. Back across the plains. Back through the silence. Back to the village. But the village didn't welcome me. The elders saw my face and turned away. They said I brought something back with me. And maybe they were right. Because since then, strange things happen. Goats born with 2 heads. Girls waking up speaking in tongues. Fire that won't go out. Shadows that stand when no one's there. And at night, I still hear her. Whispering. Singing that old lullaby she used to hum when we met under the fig tree.